Hey, what's up everyone? This is C Good. Thank you for joining in because I'm going to share with you my best albums of July 2025. Alright, so I have a pretty cool, diverse list of albums that came out with new releases this past month for July 2025. And fucking music is just getting better and better throughout the year. And I just want to share with you these albums that I have been listening to and enjoying the most, and be sure to document this list and let me know what you thought about the albums, and be sure to comment on your favorite albums that came out this past month because I definitely don't want to miss out on good music. Alright, enough of me talking, let's get right into it. First band that I want to mention is a post-rock band from Australia, and that is We Lost the Sea with the new album A Single Flower. I really got to give it up to We Lost the Sea because the last album was okay, but I wasn't very fond of. And I think they kind of changed their sound in a damn good way because it's more raw, it's a little bit heavier with post-metal elements. And I think what I really enjoyed that they brought in some sounds similar to the band Godspeed You Black Emperor. And this is a very long album, so I've only heard this album around 4 or 5 times, but it's very unique. I love the style. I think they have formulated a good signature for them, and this album is not going to disappoint. It's pretty fucking good. It's going to be up there for my post-rock albums of the year, but if you have not heard this album yet, check it out. Next band I want to mention is Nuvolascura with their new album, How This All Ends. This band has came out with a remarkable Screamo Scrams album, and it's been 5 years since it came out with the new album, and it's badass. I mean, the guitar hooks are fucking amazing. I feel like there's some like math rock elements in here as well, and it's just fucking beyond killer. And I love how they brought in some metalcore elements. I think people don't like it, but it's very chuggy, it's very heavy. Breakdowns are fucking amazing. And when it comes to that Screamo, they bring in that very soothing, atmospheric ambience or some kind of like post-rock riffs into it. And this album is not a letdown. It's going to be up there for Screamo albums of the year. But if you have not checked this band out or album, give it a try because it's one of the best for the year. Next band I want to mention is called Trhä with their new album. I'm probably going to butcher it because supposedly this is like a made-up language. Lact'eben. So if you don't know Trhä, this is like the busiest man in black metal. Comes out with over 5 albums or 6 within a year, but this is some very cool and different black metal that I've heard from Trhä, because if you know Damien Ojeda, he is the creator of Life, Sadness, and etc. And I feel like he has brought in some of those elements from Sadness and Life into this black metal album, and I love how everything's very catchy about it. The guitar riffs are fucking amazing, the drumming has like a nice groove to it, and it's going to be hard for me to explain a lot of this, but I love the dynamics to everything about the instrumentation, and it's very different, very fucking melodic compared to all the Trhä albums. I think this is one of my favorites, and if you have not heard this black metal album, check it out because it's badass. Next album I want to mention, it's a split, and this is from Sadness and Abriction, and that is called The Last Forever. Damn, this is a badass album. I would have to say this might be my album of the month because I listened to so much. I bought it on Bandcamp. And if you don't know Sadness, they are known for being black gaze, but I feel like they're bringing more elements of shoegaze and post-rock and post-hardcore with emo as well. So you get a lot of cool atmospheric shoegaze sounds with those mighty post-hardcore riffs, and it's very catchy. It's so badass. It makes you fucking feel good. There's sometimes I feel like I want to kind of like tear up a little bit because it sounds so fucking amazing. And then you have Abriction. I believe they have 2 tracks in this album, and if you know Abriction, they're more of the screamo, post-hardcore, emo, black gaze, and their shit is pretty fucking good too. and it's definitely different from all these other shoegaze, post-hardcore, or screamo bands that is being created. And I just like how they're very melodic, and I feel like this is underground music. Like, no one sounds like this, and this is a badass fucking split, and I feel like it's gonna be at my end of the year list, but we will see. But if you have not heard this album yet, check it out because you're missing out. Next band I want to mention is called Hammock with their new album, Nevertheless. Alright, so it's kind of rare that I bring up these types of post-rock bands because it's more the calm, ambience, a lot of like soaring, sleepy white noise melody. But I thought this was a very good post-rock album because there's a lot of synthesizer in here. I don't know how they create this sound, but it just sounds fucking amazing. It's very relaxing. It makes you bring a lot of brightness inside your life. And for me, I'm trying to get more rest, and this album came at a perfect time because it kind of helped me just like relax when I'm working, just kind of like mellow out, have an open mind. And if you have not heard this album, check it out because I think it's a great ambient post-rock album. Next band I want to mention is Alex G with his new album, Headlights. Yeah, I never mention indie rock in here, or especially with new albums, because I rarely listen to indie rock. But man, I love Alex G. If you don't know him, he is like a singer-songwriter, indie rock, folk, dad rock, whatever you want to fucking call it. And I kind of slept on his last two albums because I did enjoy Rocket 2017. Could have been best album of the year for me. But this time I wasn't not going to sleep on this album. And it's pretty fucking good. Like, if you enjoy Modest Mouse, Pete Yorn, Elliott Smith, and I guess a little bit of Big Thief, then you're going to fucking like this album. But this whole album's pretty cool. It has like shoegaze. It's very folky and more of like a drony side to it, and then you have those like badass acoustic guitar riffs with his folky singing. But if you have not heard his album, check it out because it's pretty cool. Next band I want to mention, they're alumni to my channel. They're always on here, and that is To Be Gentle with their new album. Sorry, it's a long title, so I have to read it. I am a spiritual being having a human experience. Yeah, To Be Gentle, I believe this is like a one-man project. This is scrams, post-rock, post-metal, post-hardcore, even black gaze in here. And it's a fucking aggressive album. The drumming is just non-stop. His vocals is always screaming and raspy in your face. And the guitar hits are just fucking amazing. You hear like a lot of emo, Midwestern vibes in here as well, but more in a metallic way. And I think this album is more of a post-metal album because there's a lot of like built-up breakdowns at the very end. It gets fucking loud, distorted, and just reminds you of something that's like post-metal with like sumac or Russian circles, but it's all chaotic and distorted, and it sounds fucking amazing. And if you have not heard To Be Gentle, check out their discography because it's fucking badass. It's killer. And be sure to check this album out. Next band I want to mention is called Clairvoyance with the new album, Chasm of Immurement. Like I said before, this is how I love my fucking death metal. Fucking chuggy, nasty, a little bit old school, and there is some death doom in here. But I just love how it's very avant-garde. It sounds like they're playing in a cave, suffocating, and a lot of the guitarists are just fucking amazing. It makes you want to fucking do more shit in your life. And I remember running to this album a lot this past month, and it just pumped me up at the very end. And it's just a badass killer death metal album. It's going to be up there for my favorite death metal albums of the year with the Awful Corpus. But if you love death metal, check this one out because it might be for you. Next band I want to mention is called Boneflower with their album Reveries. So this is Boneflower. They are a screamo, post-hardcore. But I feel like with this album, it's more like an emo gaze album. It has really cool guitar effects that could be very twangy, post-rock. although their singing is very aggressive, very intense and raspy, with something that reminds me of State Faults, or maybe like melodic, like at the drive-in, because they kind of have a little bit of those vocals. And it could sound like a little bit like Circus Survive 2. I'm sorry, I'm trying to put in these post-hardcore bands in here that kind of remind me of like State Faults. But it's a pretty good fucking album. I think it's better than their last one. I feel like some of their tracks in their last album kind of dragged on. But this one here, they fucking definitely hit it out of the park. Everything sounds great. And if you have not heard this album, check it out because you're missing out. Alright, so last band that I want to mention on this list is called Psycho Frame with the new album. Sorry I have to read it out because it's a long one. Salvation Laughs in the Face of a Grieving Mother. So I don't really listen to deathcore, but this is a pretty fucking badass deathcore. I mean, it kind of brings back deathcore from the early 2000s in your fucking face, like old school Cattle Decapitation, Suicide Silence, or Carnifex, and maybe a little bit of Whitechapel. Although I love how this album is pretty fucking brutal, chaotic. There are those deathcore vocals, but then backing those vocals up, you hear badass like black metal or screamo vocals that made it sound even more kick-ass. So this whole album is just never ending of like powerful deathcore in your fucking face. It's just gonna keep on going and going with like nasty, ugly deathcore sounds. And if you have not checked out this band and want to hear like a better deathcore band, then check out Psycho Frame because they're pretty fucking good. Alright, that's it for me. So those were the albums and bands that I have been listening to the most for the past month of July 2025, and I thought it was a fucking solid month. Can't wait to hear more new music coming up in August. And be sure to share your list of bands that you have been listening to because I definitely don't want to miss out on good music. But I have nothing else to talk about until next time for my next video. I don't know when that's going to happen, but take care, be safe, and peace.